The following security guard states that other staff has been seeing strange shadow sightings in this grocery store for quite some time now, and that nobody could ever really explain this phenomenon. It happens so frequently that staff are already joking about the shopping shadows they see. And tonight, the guard seems to have captured the activity on camera.
Se mira acá de este lado es la pantalla que está prendida. Ahí arriba, esa. De ahí en más, pues estoy solo, les digo, está todo solo ahorita. Solo. Y ahorita había algo allá en la entrada de clientes. Hasta allá, hasta el último. Y lo vi clarito. Ya lo vi otra vez. A ver si se alcanza a ver. No, me da miedo ir. A eso que se mira ahí. Ese. Miren, ya se movió. ¡Oh! Está caminando, de hecho está que no manches.
There clearly is a dark silhouette walking in the aisle in the background, and if it wasn't another staff member or customer, do we have to believe that this one is one of these shadows that the man was telling us about in the beginning? How eerie. On the last day of 2022, 3 law enforcement officers responded to a residence following a tip-off from a neighbor who reported peculiar and disruptive sounds emanating from the premises. During New Year's Eve, a 20-year-old woman named Kamelka was present in the house with a few friends. They engaged in a questionable activity, utilizing a Ouija board with the aim of summoning otherworldly entities related to a family with cannibalistic tendencies and their unfortunate victims. This decision took an unexpected turn when Kamelka abruptly began displaying unpredictable and untamed behavior, ultimately securing herself inside a room. According to her friends, something went drastically wrong, indicating that Kamelka appeared to have come under the influence of a malevolent force, indicating that Kamelka might have become possessed.
Jezu, jak to ona tak warczy? Ja pierdzielę. No, totalnie.
Pierdolę, ja dostaję tylko 50 zł, kurwa. Idź tam do...
Uważaj.
Kamila! Kamila!
Ona jest nad nami u góry, od góry coś widzi. Nie? Drut ma jakiś.
The police was unable to enter the room to get her out of there, so instead they decided to place a ladder from the outside, trying to lift her out of the window towards safety. But it unfolded a bit different than they had anticipated.
Tu jesteś, ciekawska. Chodź, misiu. Nie bardziej jak świnia, kurwa. Chodź. Chodź tu, kurwo. Chodź tu, Kamilka. Kamilka, to też cię widzę. No nie czołgaj się. Kamilka. To dziecko cię woła. Kamilka. Wiktoria cię woła.
Apparently, the police was able to get her out of the house, telling her that her daughter was waiting for her. They took her to the local hospital, where she is still in treatment, and not much is known if her loved ones had taken any additional steps to help her with this estranged behavior. Pretty creepy. Ghost Tunnel. To follow up on some research they found on the internet, they came across something pretty inexplicable in their minds. Important to note, they state that they did not bring any flashlights at the time of their initial recordings and only came back with one after exiting the cave and running into a couple that actually had brought one way later. Let's take a look.
Whoa. I can hear your footsteps. I just seen a light at the end of the tunnel. What the f? Hello? What the f was that?
A mysterious light was seen right at the end of the tunnel. Given that nobody had a flashlight, it made them wonder what could have been the cause for that. Also, the cries for help were only discovered after the couple had returned home. Was it cries from the afterlife? In 1888, 30 people lost their lives right in front of the tunnel when a train crashed after the conductor had jumped off and left the machine, as well as several more fatal accidents that had taken place around the cave. Could this all be the reason for the residual energy that might have been captured on tape here? Who can say? The next video was posted by Channel 3T. The uploader wrote that this was an unknown creature that they managed to capture on the camera of their phone. One of the spookiest things about this video is that the uploader does not usually post paranormal clips. Their content is actually usually focused on dog agility. The video shows a dense forest. It appears that the uploader is out exploring what looks to be an old abandoned house. When he pens down to film the well, he does not expect to capture this.
Солнце не зашло, а как-то мрачно, очень мрачно. Еще и в колодце что-то шипит. Может, ужик.
The video shows a terrifying white face peeking out from deep in the well, looking back up at him. The eyes shine bright blue, and some say it appears that there are even flames coming out of them. The mouth of the creature appears to be open, making the whole image that much creepier. After the sighting, the uploader is visibly startled and can be seen running away before the video ends abruptly. What do you guys think of this sighting? Is there any reasonable explanation for this face in the well? Was it just a skit? Or did something mysterious unfold here? Chris has uploaded the following video, which is quite an interesting one. He states, "This is a video straight from a colleague's home security system. There is what appears to be some sort of orb at the bottom of the screen, which turns into a light. And at the top of the screen, you can see what appears to be a transparent figure walking through the fence. What do you guys think is going on here? Are we seeing some paranormal activity unfolding? Most people think that this was not caused by bugs in front of the camera. So, what was it then? This is the case of Joe Cummings, who captured something really creepy after installing a security camera in his kitchen area. The young man states that he noticed food disappearing overnight and that other several items were sometimes found in places where he certainly had not left them. After confronting his girlfriend, she denied to have been the culprit, making Joe actually question his sanity and then installing the CCTV camera. What he found was quite shocking, to say the least. A strange woman is crawling out of the crawl space on top of the kitchen area. She then keeps going through Joe's fridge, eating his food, checking the pantry, and hanging out for a little bit. Before Joe decides to go for a little midnight snack. The scary part is, Joe did not notice the freeloader in his kitchen and went back to bed. Can you imagine the imminent danger he might have found himself in? Shortly after, the woman returned back into the crawl space. When Joe checked the footage the following day, his jaw literally dropped to the floor, and he had police take care of the matter. What a creepy encounter. Now a recording from an officer that was patrolling the wing of an older airport, which supposedly was completely abandoned at the time. He wasn't the first person to have seen and heard really odd things going on there, especially the washroom areas were notorious for inexplicable noises. Tonight he documented these weird happenings.
Aquí, en este pasillo, hay un baño. En este pasillo hay un baño. Hay un baño de mujeres. En este pasillo hay un baño de mujeres. A esta hora hay un fantasma juguetón que juega con las llaves de lavamanos. Ahí está. Este es el baño. Ese es el baño. Y como ustedes se pueden dar cuenta, están las luces apagadas. Ay, qué miedo. No hay nadie. No hay nadie, no hay nadie, no hay un alma aquí abajo. No tiene por qué haberla. Y en este baño menos. Sin embargo, allí está el fantasma jugando con la llave del agua. Es obviamente una mujer, bueno, a menos que sea. Me voy a acercar poco a poco. Esto está oscuro, man. Se prenden las luces por mi presencia. ¿Sí ven? Se paró. Se quedó quieto. Dale pues. Sigue jugando. ¿Por qué te para? Mira. Hola. Hola, hola. ¿Estás acá? ¿Dónde estás? Se prenden las luces. ¿Estás jugando con la llave? ¿Ah? ¿Estás jugando con la llave? ¿Ah? Necesito otra prueba. Necesito otra prueba. ¡Ay, marica!
It appears that this spirit seems to be pretty smart, even responding to our guard here and proving him wrong. Maybe there's a reason for its presence. Some say it wants to be noticed. Could this be? Whatever the answer, it's pretty eerie. The following video was captured by two friends as they were driving through an area close to the Aokigahara forest, which is still frequently visited by those who choose this forest to go on their very last journey, if you know what I mean. And it's to nobody's surprise that people say to see ghosts and other paranormal sightings there on the regular. However, the two friends didn't notice anything in particular at the time. Nothing but a blurry object that seemed to hover close to their car. It would appear that their dashcam captured an eerie pair of flags floating in the sky, slowly but surely closing in on their car, and as mentioned, they didn't see these flags in much detail. They thought to have seen a mass, which is why they checked the recording, but it's pretty clear that this might be something otherworldly. What do you think? Was this one of the many spirits which is still visiting this haunted forest? In this clip, we are following along an Italian investigation team, and they made it to some supposedly haunted dormitories. Apparently, many former workers have shared tales about strange noises in the night and even shadow sightings. It is also said that several people went missing in there, since safety regulations were basically non-existent at the time this building was still operational. Let's see what they could capture.
Però sono passi pesanti, eh? Cioè sono rumori pesanti proprio. Hai sentito?
No, ragazzi, io sopra non ci voglio salire.
Che cazzo?
Il corridoio dovrebbe essere chiuso. Non abbiamo visto dove stanza.
A dark shadow is appearing at the end of this derelict hallway, walking towards the right and then simply disappearing into thin air. None of the team members saw it at the time, but after rewatching the video, they are pretty certain that this shadow was of paranormal nature. Could this be the case? Who can say? The following is a pretty creepy capture that was forwarded by user Shockwave74. He states that this image was captured by a wife and husband who had just moved into their new home. The wife grabbed their camera and decided to capture a picture of her husband on the sofa. However, there seemed to be somebody else with them that night. A pretty creepy looking face can be seen, seemingly hiding in between the steps of an assembly ladder. The couple is pretty certain that they had no guests in their home at the time. So, who knows, maybe a former resident was visiting them from the afterlife. Or even worse, an unwanted intruder. Whatever the answer, it's pretty safe to say, the couple must have had nightmares after seeing this head pop up on their photograph. The following is an update from Diego Spikers, who has shared some really terrifying encounters in the past in his own apartment. Apparently there's a spirit haunting his entire family. One of the latest terrifying captures was featuring a strange hand that seemingly belonged to nobody. What kind of hand is that? Some commenters speculate that this might be the hand of a demon, since this does not look human to them. But who can say for sure? It is really creepy without a doubt, and I guess we will never fully know how exactly this unfolded. Now we want to watch a video from user FlowJoe37, who was staying in the supposedly haunted Emily Morgan Hotel in San Antonio, Texas. This hotel is a hotspot for paranormal encounters, and Joe was walking around with his camera in the hopes to capture anything inexplicable. Let's see. Joe believes that we can see either an arm of a ghost or maybe a piece of clothing, as this being is walking into the frame and reflecting off the mirror. But if it's not a ghost, what else could this have been? Is it maybe just a strange reflection? I actually can't tell. Can you? The following video comes from a babysitter who is recording the girl he's watching while she's playing with her toys. Out of nowhere, the girl tells him she has a doll that moves on its own when playing hide and seek.
When I play hide and seek with my doll, it moves.
You said it moves?
Yeah.
That doll? This doll?
Yeah.
Like you move it, or? Wait, what? When does it move?
When you play hide and seek with her.
When you play hide and seek?
Yeah.
Not sure what to do, he lets curiosity take over and decides to play hide and seek with the creepy doll to see for himself if it really moves.
Oh my god! Sadie, you scared me. Don't do that.
The dog comes out of nowhere and scares him, interrupting the hide and seek game before the doll has a chance to move. A little later in the night, after putting the girl to sleep, he captures the dog growling aggressively at the doll, as if it was sensing something isn't right.
Noticed the dog has been staring at the doll. Looking at it. I'm kind of freaked out right now.
The dog growls at the doll while staring at it intently for a few minutes. We can clearly see that the dog is nervous being in the presence of this doll. A few hours later, in the middle of the night, the babysitter takes a nap when suddenly he hears a noise coming from the living room where the doll is placed. Realizing this, he takes out his phone to record everything, and what he captures is truly terrifying. Mysteriously, one of the toys in the room right next to the doll turns on by itself, but the most terrifying thing is that the doll, which had been in the same position all day, begins to move, lifting its head to look at the babysitter before falling backward and scaring him. He then runs out of there. This spooky experience really scared the man, and we don't know if he'll return to this house to watch the girl again after seeing all this. Creepy. The following incident has been shared by Denat Amenov. He states that something really strange happened one night as he was staying at his sister's house. He wrote, "The craziest thing just happened to me. Woke up at around 3 a.m. from an annoying lamplight. This was filmed on an iPhone X. No other light sources were turned on in the room. And this is not a reflection. That was so surreal and weird." It is really odd how this table light seems to be turned on in the mirror's reflection. Could this be happening in another dimension at this time? Some people speculate this to be the case. For reference, he took 2 pictures in the morning. And he filmed again the following evening. No strangeness seemed to be unfolding this time. However, somebody noticed that something else was with him the night prior, something that was sitting under the desk. Could this be an entity? People say it almost looks a bit demonic, very creepy, whatever it was. What do you think happened here that night? Certainly a night to remember for him. The following video was recorded by a trail cam that was mounted on a pole close to the owner's home. There were always weird noises that could be heard stemming from the local woods. Many legends were told about the infamous skinwalker that was supposed to roam this area, especially at night. The man had decided to mount this camera together with a floodlight for security purposes. And one night, it would appear that he finally caught something that he couldn't easily explain. A strange white creature appears on the right side of the screen and seems to be running through the picture in a pretty inhumane way. Look at its legs. It almost doesn't look human at all, wouldn't you agree? Some people say it almost looks as if that thing was stalking for prey. What an unsettling thought. Are we actually seeing a mysterious creature here? Or was it something way more unnerving? Please let me know what you think. To this day, the man has no idea what exactly was captured that night. The next clip was uploaded to Reddit by user Hachi4496. He and his family have lived in this house for a while, however only recently started feeling a strange presence in their home. It started out subtle, just the feeling someone is watching you or thinking you see someone out of the corner of your eye. But soon it escalated. They started hearing footsteps and items banging around the house, doors closing on their own, and even speaking coming from rooms where nobody was inside. They decided to try setting up a few cameras to see if they could catch maybe an object falling on its own or a door slamming. What they caught was even more frightening. A black figure very quickly makes its way across the kitchen. If you look closely, it even appears to leave a black fog behind for a brief moment. The entity even seems to crouch down, avoiding the camera when it comes into view. While some viewers say this could simply be a bug, others are saying the way the shadow seems to intentionally avoid the camera, paired with the strange shadow and extreme speed, makes it look very different than other clips of insects on lenses. The shadow creature could possibly be responsible for the paranormal events. Or is this all a coincidence? Let me know your thoughts about it. Now let's take a look at another investigation from Dark Ghost Paranormal, aka Dennis. In this episode, he's visiting a house reportedly owned by a witch. Apparently, this town dates back to the 1830s and was home to many who practice various sorts of witchcraft. There are rumors that around that time, anyone who tried to spy on the witches succumbed to terrible fates. Some passing out and waking up very far away, others losing large chunks of their memory. In the 1920s, the entire village was destroyed and the witches chased away by a large group of religious people. Eventually, the town was rebuilt. Of course, the witches were gone by that time, and it was mostly a regular place despite the strange history. Dennis will be spending the night in the last remaining house from this town. It is said this house has a lot of paranormal and spiritual activity, and many believe the spirits of the witches still remain. Let's take a look what he captured that night. Things started off relatively slowly in the night, that is, until something seems to anger a spirit, causing a dresser and many pots to go flying across the room. Things only escalate from here. Suddenly, many orbs can be seen on camera, although none had been seen the entire time Dennis was there. Few moments later, Dennis catches something truly terrifying in the bedroom. You could almost miss it if you didn't know what to look for. Something is standing or floating above the bed with a sheet over top. Whatever or whoever it must be was quite tall, as their head is nearly hitting the ceiling. This encounter ends ambiguously, as Dennis keeps filming the unmoving entity, as he grabs his camera and makes his way out of the house. The video ends with the camera still fixed on the large creature on the bed. Certainly a really frightening capture. His viewers are already hoping that Dennis will return soon to conduct another investigation. Really entertaining. Now we are following Hunting the Unknown, who is investigating a supposedly haunted convent from the 1800s. This place was run by nuns till the late 1900s, until it was eventually shut down. Yet, some urban explorers claim that they have seen shadows in there, and even heard people talking when there was nobody else in there. Let's take a look at what this young man could capture tonight.
That's creepy, me like that.
Unbeknownst to the man, there's a dark, cloaked figure standing in the room to the right. What's really interesting is that he didn't point it out, even after editing the video. So people think that this could have been a legit capture. Was somebody with him perhaps? Or was it the actual spirit of one of the former nuns? Comments range widely. Unfortunately, there's never been an answer to that question. What do you believe? The next video was shared by Ella, and she recorded it one summer day while on a little bathing adventure in a river in the Philippines. She had her GoPro with her and simply wanted to document her outdoor adventure today. But it seemed that something else was with her. Let's take a look. Although there was nobody with her in the water, at least seemingly, there's a pair of legs standing right behind her. How is this possible? Could this be a reflection from somewhere? Most people believe that these belong to a spirit though. An unsettling thought, isn't it? But who knows? Tommy forwarded me this video of Jack, who was living in Scotland. He claimed to be haunted by an evil poltergeist and could record the activity on video this night. Now that's what it says. So let's just see.
Oh my. Oh.
Going up his stairs.
Phone's upstairs.
Well,
Oh my.
I think I would have been out of this house by now. I mean, this clip seems to be going on for some time, so let's just see if there's anything.
I swear to I seen something.
Could also be Irish, right? I'm not sure. Did you hear that growl or whatever? Let's listen to it again. Oh wow. Yeah, it would be the hell out of there. Super unsettling. Creepy.